Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thanks so much for joining me. Before we get to today's guest, I just want to say, please support the show, in any way possible. Please go on our Patreon page, patreon.com/battlerapresume, where you can, help the show, help to put money towards the show. If you enjoy the show, I don't say it as mandatory. If you want to help the show in any way, please give us reviews on iTunes as well. But yeah, check out the Patreon page. A few little interesting things, extras, behind the scenes stuff that we offer on there. So yeah, just check it out if you want to help out the show. You can also subscribe to the show if you're on YouTube, if you're on iTunes, if you're listening on whatever podcast format, please do that. Please get in touch as well, battlerapresume@gmail.com. It'd be great to hear from you. Check out Redbubble. We have lots of avenues, but I'm trying to keep these intros short. I hate it on Joe Rogan when he spends like 10 minutes going through on it and shit like that. And shout out Joe Rogan, but still. So yeah, Battle Resume, if you want to support the Patreon, the email. Thank you guys. So my guest today, Blunthead, I just want to start off, you mentioned this when we chatted prior. I referred to you, if anyone's not aware, I think the best way, in a sense, is to say you're the UK's Caustic. Is that a fair assessment?
I heard you say, I think it was to Chucky P the other day. I was just talking to Chucky about it the other day. In terms of like the English Caustic, like the UK Caustic, like I think he's definitely like more skilled than I am. Right. Although from what I've been reading today, it seems that I don't know if it was just kind of gas, but somebody was saying that he's ghost written in his most battles, like by 4 or 5 different people. So in that sense, I'm not really like him because I write all my own stuff. However, what I tend to write tends to be a bit shit, really. But like I know how to. Honestly, like let's break it down like a little bit. I'm not the best writer in the world. But I know how to twist an angle like good. Like that's my strong point. And I think like with Caustic, like he can take an angle and he can make it sound like really unfair on the other person. Mm-hmm. So I can see the comparison there. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I think he's definitely got better skill levels, like in terms of his writing and stuff, if he does write his own stuff.
Yeah, that's mad you say that, actually. I wasn't aware. Like, so what? Is that like, I don't know, who would write for him? Like, Reverse Live, Dirtbag Dan? Like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well, this is the weird thing. Like, I can't remember who wrote it, but it was on King of the Dot, and it was another battler that said it. I can't remember who the fuck it was though. But yeah, it's quite a weird statement to come out with. But it was kind of talking about it as if it was common knowledge. But I find it hard to believe because, I mean, a battler wants to write his own stuff. He wants to. I mean, I don't see the point in going out there, preparing, getting reactions for stuff, but you're getting reactions for something that somebody else has wrote. Like, it doesn't really make any sense to me.
No, I agree. And, as a fan, do you like watching that sort of stuff? Because obviously in battle rap, exposing people, it's a common thing.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, like, Caustic's one of my favourite battlers. So I like that side of it, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons why I took that exposure avenue in a few battles.
Yeah. I mean, that isn't all you do, but I just wanted to start off with that.
It just kind of got a bit out of control, really. Like, I think I exposed Dirty Walls when I battled him. That was on Clash Money.
I haven't even watched that one.
Oh wow, mate! It was deep. It was deep. There may have been a little bit of kind of, to be honest, something I discovered on his Facebook that sounded like a little bit suspect. So I just went in on it, and his face kind of co-signed it when I said it.
Right. And UK Caustic, I have to say, just before we get onto the first battle, like, what do you think of the whole Jefferson Price thing? Do you look on that as like the greatest moment in exposing, or?
Nah, not at all. Like, to be honest with you, I think Caustic was a bit of a dickhead for doing that. I don't think he was in the right to do that, man. Anytime I've ever exposed anything on anybody, it's never been anything that's life-changing. It's something like that. That was life-changing business.
Right.
I don't think that's the right way to go about it.
Fair enough, man. And it's been mentioned in a few battles. It's fair to say, Ted, you're slightly older, in a sense, than the normal battler. Like, not that matters. Shout out Shocks to Rebel. But I mean, how long have you been following battling up to this point? Had you been a fan for such a while until the Graza thing? Had it been a recent thing?
Yeah, I've been a fan since back when Blind Fury was doing it. That was kind of what got me into it originally. I think it was on somebody's DVD. Do you know Blind Fury?
I'm not aware of him, actually, no.
He's like old school and he's proper sick, but he's a blind guy as well.
Oh, right.
So he kind of created a little bit of attention.
Yeah.
And I saw a DVD with him on it, and I thought, wow, this guy's sick. I like what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a fan since then, but I never thought about doing it, actually jumping on and actually getting into my own battle until Clash Money popped up. And I just thought, you know what, this could be something to do.
Yeah.
I never thought it was going to end up how it was, but at the time I just thought, I'll do it for a laugh. Battle, couple of battles. I'll probably never get offered another battle again.
Yeah.
But I did, strangely.
But, Ted, we stand about, if we're going on sort of upload date terms, Graza gets uploaded May 2015. Jeffer's most recent upload was uploaded, October 2016. So, 18 or so months, whatever. You've had 18 battles in that time. You've been so busy.
Yeah. I just kind of, at one point I was doing one a month as standard. And then there was other occasions where I was doing 2 or 3 battles in a month, which, you just got a bit crazy for a bit. But I've tried to calm it down a bit this year. Or the back end of this year, should I say?
Yeah.
I think I'm doing 1 battle every 2 or 3 months at the minute. And so it's going a bit better.
Yeah, and you say Blind Fury had been an influence. Who else were you looking to before the Graza battle? Who were you watching, other than Caustic as well?
I was a bit of a Don't Flop fan back in the day. And
does that hurt you to admit, Ted?
Not really. It kind of, there's beef between Don't Flop and King of the Ronalds, as everybody knows. But it's Mickey and her. That's their beef. I just like trolling the fuck out of Don't Flop.
Right.
I just get a fun out of it. But I was a fan of Don't Flop. I still watch a few battles. Innuendo versus Dundee, that went up the other day.
Yep.
That was a pretty sick battle. I won't share the fucking thing though. But yeah, it was a sick battle. Dundee came over, he showcased himself. But I think Innuendo also showed Dundee's style, his multis is easily replicated. It was a fully sick battle, man.
But yeah, we'll get to your catalogue, and we start off with Graza.
Up until recently, he was still living with his mum. She was changing his nappy and pushing his pram. The fact of the matter is that this boy is not yet a man. Now, I'm going to end this shit by saying that Graham should have never came for me to slay him. It's a shame no man in the place gives a fuck what you were saying, because you're a racist, rapist. Girl will never date this.
How did this come about, Ted? How are you and Clash Money?
Euphorical, really. I've met Youth a few times through Don't Flop events. Weren't really boys or buddies or nothing, but met each other a few times. I don't know if you're aware of a grime guy from Knots called Mixie, Cryptic.
Okay. Not really, no.
No. Well, they're kind of on the grime scene. They've been doing clashing with, or Mixie has, with Words of Weapons. And then you got a battle with Clash Money. And I decided to go along with it. So I went there, stood in the crowd. I thought, yeah, fuck it. So I spoke to Youth, and he says, yeah, I'll give you a try out. There's this guy called Graza. Says, never heard of him. He says, no, he's probably never heard of you either. But, it turned out to be a pretty shit battle, if I'm honest. You probably watched it.
Yeah.
It wasn't that great. I was off my nut. Sweating profusely, sunglasses, coat, indoors. Yeah, it was a bad time, man, but it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, and I think the fun shows, maybe it's not the most polished encounter, but, the crowd are lively. And, people are enjoying it. That kind of, his Ma farts when she runs is one of your openers.
Yeah, that was kind of pretty appalling writing, but it got reactions.
Yeah, it did.
you know, I've sat there recently, I've sat and wrote things and I thought, yeah, that's clever as fuck. Like against Jeffers, I said the Jeffers on price. I thought, yeah, man, that's clever. And I got crickets. And then I said some, you know, yeah, was it your mum farts when she runs or something, and fucking it went mental.
It did.
Crazy.
Four fingers in the batty like a Kit Kat.
Yeah, there was that one as well.
You know,
I don't know where that even came from. Like, I don't know why my brain would ever think to say something like that. But
that's a hit.
Yeah, it just came out on the writing, and I thought, "Fuck it, I'm going to say it."
And you know, a little choke that kind of plagues a lot of the battle. Really,
49 seconds.
Right.
That's how long I was gone for. 49 seconds of just sweating and looking at my fingers. Yeah, that was a moment.
Yeah, it is quite a long. I mean, someone says to just do your third, and you're like, you know, if you can remember that, I think someone says as well.
Yeah, but the strange thing was, I went to spit my third, and then spat my second that I couldn't remember. So then I was like all fucked up after that. I didn't know what to spit. And then I think I said something to Yunnan, and then it turned out Yunnan was judging the battle, which it wasn't a good move. I think it was was it Yunnan's your mother or something? Yeah. And it got like a mad reaction for it, and fucking the end of it, it's like, yeah, Yunnan, yeah, we're going to judge your battle. It's like, fuck's sake. I've just fucking parred him off, and now he's going to blatantly give it to Graza. You know, Graza he was good in the battle, man. He was all right. He had some funny lines, man.
He did. He was kind of. Did he battle much after this?
Yeah, we had a couple of battles on Clash Money, and now he's like, I think he's had like 2 or 3 battles on King of the Ronalds. Okay.
My apologies then for not being too aware of the guy, because he has some funny lines. You know, you and Polish people are the only ones keeping Sports Direct in business, which is quite a precise. Yeah. So you went online and you were irreverent, Ted. Right,
Graza, you dickhead! Who's done me with this one? Nah, basically what happened was I wrote a status for a laugh saying, "Oh, I'm going to be a reverend." This is before I ever took a battle, and then I changed my name on Facebook to Reverend Lee Blunt Ted Daniel, and then thought to myself after, that could be perceived like a little bit kind of paedophile-ish. So I thought I better change that back. And then my Facebook went, nah, mate, not for 6 months, pal. So it's like, oh, for fuck. And then all of a sudden I've got like a battle coming up, and I'm called Reverend on Facebook. So yeah, it was a terrible look.
Right. Graza in his second, you know, he does have quite funny lines. Girl wears so much makeup, looks like she got gangbanged by Crayola.
Yeah, that was quite funny. To be honest, I got a lot of amusement out of Graza in that first battle, man. And I've tried to push him since. Like, I've moved over to King of the Ronalds, and he's somebody that I wanted to bring over with me because I rate him. I think he's really good, man.
Yeah, no, he is great in this. Your eyes are so wonky and strange. One's going to the shop, the other's coming back with the change.
See, that one. I found out 2 days ago that came from a meme or a joke or something.
Oh, right.
So it wasn't even like a bar that he wrote, but fuck it, he said it and he got a reaction, so
yeah.
Let him have it, man.
Yeah, exactly. And again, yeah, like you say, you mentioned Yunnan, and this little mini choke as well. But I mean, what matters most, Ted, is that it got done. You know, the document is there. It must have felt good to just have your first battle out, I guess.
Yeah, it did. It was like when I was waiting for it to drop, I was thinking this is going to look amazing. Like the footage is going to be like the best footage you've ever seen in your life. And then it dropped, and it was a bit of a kind of a come down, really, because it was like, oh shit, we look a bit terrible. But it was fun. Like, that was the main thing. I went there to have a laugh, and I had a laugh. So, you know, I achieved what I was trying to achieve. And then straight after the battle, Youth says to me, "Oh, we're going to give you another battle." So I thought, fuck it, I'll just do one more.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I'm like 20 battles deep.
Yeah, it does creep up on you. And, you know, obviously you do continue to battle on Clash Money, you know, representing Nottingham. But to many people, Ted, especially in the battle rep sphere, elite, you know, you are seen as a King of the Ronalds guy. And the next battle we're going to get into is the battle with Bear Solutions. Like, you know, how long had you been following the league before you got involved?
Since day one. I've been a fan of Mickey Worthless when he was at Don't Flop.
Yeah.
And I feel when he left Don't Flop, he took the element of Don't Flop that I enjoyed with him. Like, it died after that Don't Flop, and then King of the Ronalds kind of re-brought it back. You know, he's the element that's needed, I think, in UK battle rap.
And
just because he makes it interesting.
Yeah. But I mean, precisely what do you mean make it interesting? Or is it just his kind of chaotic, kind of, you know, this boyish charm, or?
I don't know about boyish charm. I just think he's a funny fucker. Like, he literally doesn't care, man. Like, if something's on his mind, he'll say it. And I'm quite similar that way. But I don't know. He makes a shit battle good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like for a while, like watching King of the Ronalds, because you had people like fucking Whackers on there. And he's terrible. Hackers ain't mate, you fucking shit, bruv. If you're listening to this, Hackers. And at the time, he was like King of the Ronald's best battler. But Mickey was in the background making it funny. So, you know, that's kind of, you know, why I followed King of the Ronalds from then onwards. So I just thought, yeah, so Don't Flop's dead. But now it's brought back to life again with, you know, KOTR.
Nah, I came to this battle on a battle amongst prep, but I never prepped for the rancid smell of death on this brother's breath. And for me, this is the first of 3 battles in the space of 3 weeks, so you're just a starter before I properly eat. And what kind of faggot could you hear? Because you look like a cracked out George Michael before he realised he was queer.
Getting involved with this first battle against Bear Solutions, your KOTR debut, how did this come about?
Well, I got an inbox from Mickey one night. I was in top 8 tournament on Clash Money, and I got a message from Mickey one night saying, are you still in that tournament? I says, no, I've just got knocked out of it. He says, I'll come battle on King of the Ronalds. Get you an opponent.
Yeah.
So, all right, fuck it, why not, man? Like, I'm a fan of the league. So I may as well go there, do a couple of battles or something. Then I got offered, what's his name? That prick from Don't Flop. LS Dean.
LS Dean, yeah.
Yeah, him. That tosser. Got offered him. And he was like, no, that blunt head, like, his shit is beneath me. I don't want it.
Wow.
And then I got offered Max. And Max was like, yeah, I'm washing my hair that night. Because I think, obviously, he'd never heard of me before. So he turned it down. And then I got offered Bear Solutions. So I went and watched him versus Omar.
Yeah.
And it was like one of the shittest things I've ever seen in my life. Like, I just thought, God, this Bear Solutions guy's terrible, man. I'll take that battle. I'll go there. I'll fucking smash him and then I'll go home again. But you've probably seen that battle. It didn't turn out that way.
Not quite, no. And, you know, I picked this battle both as being your KOTR debut and also just, you know, Bear Solutions, good friend of the show. It was nice to see you two facing off, actually. Quite the style clash. Obviously, he's the, you know, the maths Oxford student from Cambridge, the wonder kid, and yourself, Ted, the UK caustic, as we've already established. You don't really expose him in this battle, to be fair.
No, I didn't have anything to go on with him. There was, I mean, what happened with that battle is I got offered 2 more battles. I got offered a battle with Metaphor and one with a guy from Clash Money called JM. And I got offered Bear Solutions, but they were all in 3 weeks, in the space of 3 weeks. And I thought, yeah, I'll smash it, fuck it. And then soon realised that writing for 3 battles and memorising 3 battles wasn't easy. So I kind of used all my throwaways for Bear, thinking, oh, he's not that good, so I'll still beat him with that. But it turned out he'd actually wrote a lot better than he'd wrote before. And he kind of bodied me a little bit.
Yeah,
and I mean, since then, I've just hated on him since that day.
Yeah, he does well here. He's, you know, he's very much in the early stages, and you know, the confidence isn't quite as much there. Neither is the flip ability that he's perfected at his current stage. But still, you know, he's very, very young in this and delivers well. iPhone 7, Hulk with Maisie there. Good to see Maisie.
Maisie, yeah, little Maisie.
Just in front of the battle. This is the first battle kicking off. Fair to say, Ted, not that many people in the building.
What, against Maisie?
No, against Bear Solutions.
Oh, against Bear? No, it was first battle of the day. And I think I turned up, and about 5 minutes later I was battling.
Right.
But I think like the only people that turned up to that event were like other battlers and two geezers that Mickey managed to pull in from the street. So yeah, it was a bit dead. Like, to be fair, man, a few people didn't turn up. Whackers didn't show up. Fucking who else didn't show up? Somebody else. There's a few people didn't show up for the battles. Can't remember who the fuck there was, but they're probably not worth remembering.
Right.
But yeah, it was a bit dead in there.
He, Bear Begins calls you Shocks the Rebel on ketamine.
Yeah, that's a common thing here in, maybe not the ketamine part, but I hear quite a lot that I look like Shocks the Rebel. He looks like me, man. Like, I'm the oldest, so he looks like me.
What are your thoughts on Shocks?
Do you know what? I rate him. Like, I do rate him. But I think he's got like a bit of a chip on his shoulder, man.
Right.
You know, he's like, I know I've blocked a couple of people, but he's like, he showed up on the forum one day, started like having a go at everybody on the forum, saying, I can't remember what the situation was. I think it was the innuendo situation when he was getting a bit of stick, and he popped up saying, oh, you're all going on about innuendo or something. You're all keeping the argument going. But in turn, like, he was the one that was keeping it going. So I said this to him, and he fucking blocked me. Like, just straight with a block, just because I said to him, like, you're the one that came into this forum, put up a post about him, and then you come back 2 days later and put up the same post going on about everybody's going on about innuendo. So it was just, yeah, from that day, I don't really rate him too much from that day. I just think, you know, he just needs to sort himself out a bit and fucking get on with it. You know, it's battle rap, man. He's taking it far too serious. Like, innuendo was the one that was getting all the shit, but he didn't even take it too serious. Like, he's not bothered. You know, so there was no reason for Shocks to jump in that way.
But I mean, everyone's entitled to a bad day. You know, I mean, he's still seems a great guy, great battler as well.
Oh, he is. Don't get me wrong, man. Like, he's a good battler, man. Like, he's a bar guy. Like, he brings bars, man. So I do rate him. Like, I do rate him that way. And I guess, like, I don't really know him on a personal level, so he might be sound, but I'm just going on from what I see him on the forum that day, man.
Right. No, and not Seth MacFarlane. This is Bear. Even he can't make Ted look good on film.
Yeah. That was a decent line, man. That was a decent line.
Bear, I don't know if you remember this, Ted, but Bear, he has quite a slightly awkward close to the round. He says time, he just kind of walks off the camera. Like, it's weird. He walks out of shot as he says it to I assume nowhere but the bar, millimeters out of
I think it was the bar. Like, the bar was right behind him, and Josh Owen. I think Josh Owen was stood there. So,
right.
You know, he might have gone to give Josh a hug or something.
Josh Owen, man, big battle fan.
Yeah, well, those two, Bear and Josh Owen, they were like really close at that point. I don't know how the friendship developed between them, but yeah, they were really close at this point.
Right.
And it was like, it was a bit weird, like, just like loads of hugs all the time. They were always hugging each other and kissing each other on the cheek. Like, just, it was a bit weird. So yeah, maybe you just ran to Josh.
Right, and you know, you congratulate him for turning up at the beginning of your first, which I guess is fair considering.
Because I got ducked by everybody else.
You know, lots of he looks like a cracked nut. George Michael before he cut his hair.
I still stand by that as well, man. Every time I see a picture of him, he just looks like a young George Michael.
He looks like...
I stand by that.
He looks like Alan Partridge. Apparently...
Yeah, there was something there with Alan. I can't remember what it was, but... I said something about Alan Partridge. I think I was just trying to fit Alan Partridge in a bar.
Yeah. Well, you follow up with a great, great couplet end where it's basically Alan Partridge. You saw his mum on Pornhub shoving up a parsnip.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Yeah. Oh shit, yeah, I remember that now.
Apparently, you know, I mean, this comes up a lot in battle rap, not only KOTR, Ted. People talking about how big their opponent's mother's cunts are. Apparently her cunt's so big, this is you to Bear, her cunt's so big she fucked herself on Bowski's head.
Yeah, that happened as well, apparently. Like, I've heard the rumours. Apparently there's footage somewhere. There's footage out there somewhere. I'll have to locate it and post it somewhere, man. Like, I'm doing bare like a kipper, man. Like really at the minute, I'm just bitter. I'm salty that he fucking beat me. Salty as fuck.
It's quite funny in his second.
I do rate him though.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's done well, hasn't he? He's doing well.
Yeah, I think I've seen his battle with Zayn Asri on Don't Flop the other day.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was that great though, to be honest, but I think under the circumstances, I think was it Lazy Horse Jackie did a runner on him or something that day or day before or something. Mm-hmm. So under the circumstances, he did all right, but it wasn't that great a battle.
Do you agree with Bear's contention in the second that you rapping about so much gay sex is in itself homoerotic?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about it like that. I just, when I was writing, I was just trying to think of anything that would be bad against somebody. Basically, saying somebody's gay would be a bad thing to say about somebody. So I thought, fuck it, I'll say your dad's a pedo as well. Have some of that. Fucking, your mum's a prostitute as well. Have some of that.
Right.
So I just write it. I don't think there was anything like, oh, do you know what? It must be a batty. None of that with it. But yeah, I don't think it's homoerotic as such. Only if the person listening gets a hard on when they're listening to it. If they do, then they need to check themselves rather than what I've wrote.
Right, that's a fair barometer. And he says in his second he's going to see his girl and get some head, which is just kind of quite in its blatancy. Is
apparently he did though as well.
What?
Apparently he wasn't joking about that. So fair play to him.
Yeah. Groaning man bars. Yeah.
Yeah, so fair play to him, man. If he I'm going to go home and hit the sack. I'm going to go home and hit the sack or something and get. Oh, I can't remember what it was he said.
But yeah, basically he's getting head, or he's claiming he's going to get head of his girlfriend. And then your second, I mean, you kind of interrupt your own bars because you do go into the gay bar stuff and you acknowledge that he has said it. Yeah.
Even before I spat a gay bar, he was like, yeah, you're going to spit some gay bars now.
Yeah.
And then, as I got to that point, I thought, oh, shit. He 8-miled me, man. Proper 8-miled me. So I realised at that point, the whole battle was just fucked. I thought, you know what, he's done me here. He's done me like a kipper, man.
You were writing for a ton of battles at this time. The only thing apparently he's proud of is taking up the shitter.
Did I say that?
You did, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You'll never be a quitter. It's your follow-up.
Yeah, see, this brings me back to my point from earlier about not being the greatest writer in the world.
Right, yeah.
Writing with shitter rhymes with quitter, I can make that work. There was no kind of trying to work something decent out of it. It was just shit or quit on that.
Yeah. But I mean, Ted, clearly, all these battles, you do have this writing impulse. Have you always been into writing? Is this something new to you in any form?
To be honest with you, I used to do a bit of drawing and stuff, and making a bit of dubstep. I used to have fucking music programs on the computer. I sit messing about, playing with them. So I've always kind of needed to vent kind of whatever's inside of me in some way. It's just at the moment it seems to be battle rap. A year down the line I could be fucking busking or something. Playing the triangle in Nottingham Town Centre or something. So it's just there's always something there. But it's only recently that I've started kind of writing this much. A battle every couple of months. It's a lot of work goes into it.
Yeah.
I just find it fun.
Yeah, of course, man. And, Bear calls you a P Soldier clone in the third. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, he got a bit no, because I spoke to him afterwards and he thought I was from Leeds.
Right.
And that was why he wrote the P Soldier bars. And at the time, I remember looking around and thinking, the fuck are you talking about? P Soldier? I'm not like P Soldier. But yeah, it turns out he thought I was from Leeds. Or he thought P Soldier was from Nottingham or something. So it was a bit of a mistake on his part there. It was a bit of a nom de plume.
Yeah. Your battle with Graza, it looked like two 10-year-olds arguing about whose fanny is bigger.
Yeah, that's about right. I can accept that one.
Yeah, it's a fair assessment again. You mentioned Mickey in your third TED, him calling time on Hulk and there being salt. So what was this event?
It was when he started calling time on chokes.
Right.
And I can't remember what the battle was, but Hulk, he started choking and Mickey called time on him. And I don't think Hulk was happy about it. So it wasn't like a major thing. Like he probably just turned around and was like, "Oh, Mickey, you cunt," or something, something minor. But just trying to twist the angle, I just used it. I've not ever actually experienced Mickey calling time on me. Quite strangely, for all the chokes and all the fuckeries, he's never called time on me. But I can imagine the feeling you'd get if you'd wrote for all this time and practiced and then you flop for 5-10 seconds, but you've had time called on you. I could imagine it'd be quite frustrating, and I just thought, fuck it, I can twist that into an angle. But I don't think Hulk was really pissed off.
No, and
at the time he wasn't really trying with his battles too much. He was just freestyling pretty much 3 rounds and getting beat a lot. He wasn't really taking it that serious.
Right.
So I don't think he was that bothered, to be honest.
And, you mentioned at the end of the battle that you want to battle Hulk, Bowski and Mickey.
Yep.
You battled Bowski. Have you battled Hulk?
I did in Nottingham, was it 2 months ago?
Oh, has it been uploaded yet?
No, it's not up yet. It's still in the vaults, waiting to be uploaded at some point. I don't know when it's going to appear, but it's there somewhere, man. It's a good battle, to be honest.
And Ted, you're we'll get onto sort of you and KOTR and that relationship a little bit later on in more depth. But I'm a big fan of battle rap, obviously yourself as well. Would it kill King of the Ronalds to do an upload schedule?
There's been a few upload schedules, to be honest.
Okay.
And they start off well for like 2-3 weeks, and then it just kind of
I guess that's
goes out the window a little bit. But to be honest, I quite like just sitting there of an evening. You've got a battle that's waiting to be uploaded, and you forget about it, and you get a notification, and you look at it, and it's like, all right, my battle's out. Fair enough. Normally it's about like 4 a.m. when that comes.
You just wake up in the middle of the night, like.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck's this, man? Right, fuck it, let's go watch my battle. Like JJC4. I remember waiting for that for ages, and then all of a sudden it just dropped at like some ridiculous hour in the morning. But then it like instantly went crazy, like when that battle dropped. That was kind of what set it all off, really, I think.
Yeah. I mean, can't wait to get on that battle, but we've got a few more to touch on prior. The next one being Metaphor, which Ted, fair to say, one of your most controversial clashes.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Basically, I got through together with Metaphor. He was supposed to battle somebody called Benz, I think it was, who... I think he'd lost like 12 battles in a row or something on Clash Money. And Metaphor lost his first battle, but he wanted another battle. So I got kind of thrown with him. And I didn't really know him so much, but we got talking, and he says to me one day on the inbox, he says, if anybody ever mentioned the fact that my parents are dead, I'd slap them right there and then in the battle. And I took that as a threat type of thing, which I had no intention of bringing up his parents whatsoever. But because he made the threat, I thought, fuck it, I'm going to mention him. So I did. But the trouble is, by the time we got to battle, I was kind of all right with him.
Yeah.
We were cool. And then it got to the point where I had to drop the bars. Oh, yeah, it was.
You sent me about an inbox about a week before the original battle saying there's some shit that I can't mention because you just cannot handle. But when it comes to battling, bruv, I'm a mind vandal. So, brother, you just gave me another fucking angle. Now, the first one's going to feel like a punch to the head and leave you regretting everything that you said. And the day you came home and stepped to the bed and find your mother laying there naked and dead.
No, but you know what? We're pretty cool, to be honest, afterwards.
Right.
like we're still talking that. We're still all right, man.
Yeah. We'll get to that because that kind of closes out the battle quite fittingly. But Euphorical in the introduction here, he says that he can feel the tension. You two hate the shit out of each other, is what he says.
Yeah, he's pulling legs. He was just being ironic because we got on all right.
Right.
He did that quite a lot. I think Youth did, like before battles, like, yeah, these two fucking hate each other.
Right.
But really, they were like best mates. It's more irony than anything else. So yeah, there was never any tension between us, man. Well, halfway through that battle, there was a bit of a tension.
Sure. And Metaphor. I wasn't aware of the guy until this battle, and I don't think I'm going to watch any more of his stuff on this battle.
He's not got any more. That was his last battle. I retired Metaphor. That was his last battle.
Shit, that is a metaphor in itself. But straight into the flow for Metaphor. And Ted, this always happens in battles, regardless of, when in time. Someone talks about how they've choked, and then they choke. Yeah,
I think I pulled him up on it. He was like, "Oh fuck, what was the bar?" And I was like, "Yeah, your last bar was choke me." That was, and then he was like, he kind of rambled for a minute, said not really a lot, and then went, "Fuck it, I'm gonna freestyle." Said something else, and Youth just went, "Time."
He did. In the background, he got a little bit out. He said 118 on speed dial.
Yeah, he did. That was pretty much it. Well, that was
yeah.
The crowd are thinking, what the fuck's he talking about?
But in that garble prior the mumble, you say he says that you in a freestyle Royal Rumble said you grab a man's cock.
Oh, fuck's sake! Yeah, it was. Basically, there was like, I'm not a freestyler, man.
Right. I'm
not that great at freestyle, and there was like a Royal Rumble, and I think it was Brucey that I was talking about. I'm just gonna lay like a disclaimer on it now. I did not touch Brucey's cock. Did not touch it, man. Didn't get close to it. Didn't try. Didn't do nothing with Brucey's cock. But during the Rumble, I said something. I can't remember what it was. Like the footage never got dropped, so it's hard to reference it. I said something, and then I was like, the bar I was meant to say was something about what is it? You've been thinking about it for about 3 weeks, but instead of saying you've been thinking about it, I said I've been thinking about it. And it just basically sounded like I was just sitting there of an evening, just thinking about Bruce's dick. Right. And the crowd just went mad. And, I've got a bit of stick for it.
Is that
the thing is, no, it never got released. The footage kind of, don't know what happened to it. I think it got lost or I don't know what happened to it. It just disappeared, which I can't really argue. I'm not going to complain about that, man.
Sure.
Pretty pathetic of a battle, to be honest. It wasn't that great.
Sure.
But the trouble is, he was expecting that battle to drop.
Yes,
because it was meant to drop. So he thought, I'll write this bar. Everyone's going to troll Blunt Ted about it for a few weeks, and then I'm going to drop the bar in the battle. Mm-hmm. But then he dropped the bar, and there was no battle. So everyone's looking at him like, "The fuck's he talking about Bruce's cock for?" So he kind of got the stick for it a little bit.
And your first, the story of Metaphor started when his dad met a whore. And then you basically threatened him soon after that you're going to basically force Metaphor at knife fight to fuck every member of his family.
Yeah, every single one of them. Every single one of them, one by one.
Knife fight. Oh my god.
Knife fight. Yeah, a bit harsh, maybe. A little bit harsh, man. But the thing is, it comes across harsh, but like it's all just jokes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like you knew it was just a joke, man.
Yeah, it is sort of pantomime to a certain extent, of course. And you basically close your first by kind of like menacingly teasing that you're basically going to expose him further. Like this is not the end.
Yeah, this is not the end. I think there was like an exposure in every round on that battle, like from like down to the bailiffs banging on his door, hiding behind a sofa, something about coming through his telly and his toaster. What else was there? He was a security guard at Tesco's. That was real as well. That was facts. And then he flipped that. Actually, it was probably his best bar in the whole battle.
Yeah,
he says, "What is it? I'm not a security officer, you tosser."
Yeah,
no, I'm not. What is it? I'm not a security guard. I'm a security officer, you tosser.
Yeah.
And it was just funny, but I think it was more funny because they're exactly the same thing.
And
no difference.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. And yeah, his second is awful. He talks about he's sucking a lot of cocks and chokes again, and kind of really is clearly annoyed with himself. And it's just, it's kind of hard to watch. To
be fair to him, he'd just got out of work. Like, he'd literally just been on a mad panic to get to work as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I've been in that situation, Mum. When I battled Brizzling and choked like 3 whole rounds, like literally 3 whole rounds. I got about 4 bars out in the whole thing. So I know how it feels, Mum. That was embarrassing, to be honest, but you just got to take it on your chin, haven't you? It's just battle rap, Mum. Don't really mean anything on the grand scale of things.
Yeah, I suppose so. You basically, in your second, Homeless Bums had his mum's pussy on lock. 10-man took a turn, turned the pussy into flubber.
Yeah, like apparently there's footage of that as well. Apparently there's footage
I don't want to see that. That'll be gruesome.
That would be truly, truly gruesome. Like, it'd be horrible.
You kind of quote yourself where basically sort of you said prior that a past opponent, this is in your third, was so skinny he could slide right under the door.
Yeah, that was against Trickster. That was like my second battle. And basically the reason I wrote that for metaphor, and like I'll hold my hands up now, like when I wrote that for Trickster about because he did a send for me and he said what is it, I'll be coming down your chimney, and I just thought that's a bit weird. Like, I live in a council house. You come down my chimney, you're just going to end up with a brick wall at the bottom behind the fucking council fire. So I thought, that's a bit weird, man. But how the fuck are you going to get down there in the first place? But I thought he's a skinny bastard. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. You'll slide right under my door. Got a massive reaction for it. And because of that, I just thought, you know what? I'm going to stick that into the fucking metaphor bars as well. And then just kind of realised, like, hold on a minute, people will remember it. So I changed it a bit. And it didn't really pop, to be honest, against metaphor.
No. The addition you make is slide right under your door whilst lying on a dwarf. Yeah,
that didn't really work. Didn't really work too well. I think I got a few laughs, but I don't think there was a major.
No, it's quite a funny image, so definitely quite absurd. And now, Ted, we get to the controversial stuff I teased earlier at the beginning of this. Well, basically, you mentioned, his dead parents. He found his mother naked and dead as well. It's quite an offensive, kind of stark image.
Yeah, it was probably my darkest moment in battle rap.
Yeah, it's pretty Lynchian. It's pretty.
Yeah, it was bad, to be honest. It's like I said, I kind of said it to prove a point. Like,
right.
He said, if anybody brought up my dead parents in the battle, I'd slap them there and then. And I kind of took that as a threat. And the kind of person I am, I just wanted to test him on it. But I didn't want to, I could have gone a lot deeper on the subject. But my mother's passed as well. My mum's dead as well. And I think I say that in the battle. Like, my mum's gone as well, somewhere, up to a room with a view or something.
Right.
But I felt awful, like, saying the bars. And then, like, the reaction, I was getting booed and all sorts.
Yeah.
And I just thought, this is terrible. This is, Mum. And I seen his face, like, when I first said it, like, his eyes just went really wide, like, oh, fuck, he's just said it. And felt awful about it, man. Like, I spoke to him afterwards, and, we sorted shit out between us, and, there's no hardship between us. No,
of course. Like you say, these are just bars at the end of the day. But the fact that you kind of close out the mother stuff with, because you do mention obviously your own mother as well, but you said the difference between me and you is that your fucking faggot father died too.
Yeah, that was true as well. Like, they were both dead, and I just I was going for shock tactics, shock value there, and I definitely got it. I definitely got the reaction. But was it worth it in the long run? Like, it's literally something I felt bad about since that day. There was a point actually when I finished my second round and Metaphor choked again, and I thought to myself, should I just cut the battle here and now? Like, don't even spit my third round, because I've probably already won it anyway. But then I just thought, nah, fuck it. Like, I've wrote it, so I'm just going to stand by it. But yeah, I knew at the time, man, it just didn't feel right, man.
And what was said after? Like, was there reconciliation?
Yeah, like, straight away. Like, instantly, I spoke to him outside. I went outside. Spoke to him, just like, look, sorry, man. There's like other stuff there as well. Like, there's other stuff I could have brought up in that battle that could have been a whole lot worse. So I think he was more grateful to me, to be honest, for just saying that. So he wasn't really all that bothered, and he kind of took it on the chin quite well, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's a good lad. He's a sound lad. He's not the best battle rapper in the world, but he's a sound lad, man. Like, his heart's in the right place. He's there for his family. Like, he's got the values, man. Decent guy, man.
Yeah, no.
So he took it all right. It's probably the guy that's going to end up killing me in like 20 years' time. Like, if he ever has a breakdown, he's going to, right, where's Blunt's head? I'll find him. I'm going to have the bastard.
And, you were sort of barely 6 months in by the time this battle's released. The fire was clearly there. You really wanted to make a mark, it seems.
Yeah, also that same day I had 2 battles on the same card. I battled Ollie Walker like an hour, 2 hours later or something.
Oh my God.
And also as well, I don't know if it's noticeable, but I had like a mad chest infection. If you watch all the other battles from that card, you can just hear me in the background hacking up for the rest of the evening. So it was really hard for me to do 2 battles like on the same card. But yeah, I was hungry by it at this point, man. I was kind of thinking I could take battle rap somewhere, man. I seem to be getting, shit views compared to, Don't Flops and, all these Kings of the Dots. But for Clash Money, like, I was probably doubling the views that everybody else was getting, including like the champ, Ty Healy. I was getting more views than him and other people that were tipped to be, challengers for the title. And more people were tuning in to watch me be shit and say ridiculous stuff. So I thought, you know what? Let's take it somewhere. Let's do something with battle rap. Rather than just taking shit battles for the sake of it. I had the hunger then to get better battles. Like Dirty Walls, for example. I was chuffed to bits when I got offered him because he'd been on Don't Flop. He'd battled Boski. He battled Brucey and some others, and then I got offered that, and I thought, yeah, man, like, it's going places, it's doing something. So I stuck with it, man. Yeah, and great to see you did, because we get battles like this next battle, which is it's a blunt tag classic. I would definitely urge people to watch you versus CY. Yeah, man.
This is an incredible. This battle, fucking hell.
Now, here's some facts. Now, there was an incident that took place where somebody got caught downloading images of kids and making them the object of paedophilic jokes. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Objected already! Pedo!
It was a good one.
Yeah, because there's so many things to go through with this one. But yeah, I mean, first of all, CY, how would you describe him to the listeners? He's terrible is to start with, but like, he's kind of a posh, sort of arrogant Londoner. Like,
funny thing is, he's had like other battles. He's battled on Don't Flop, I think, a couple of times.
Oh, really?
He's been on Clash Money a few times. He'd never lost a battle till that day. He's a lot better than he was like on that occasion. Like, he's a lot better. I think on Don't Flop, though, it was like CY, but it was like the letter C and the letter Y.
Right.
CY Cyrus, I think he was on there or something. But he is a lot better than he was on that day. Like, reading from his phone, and I think he was sniffed out his box, and like, it was a weird one, man. It was weird. And he told me before the battle, he was like, look, I'm going to be reading from my phone. I was like, and he was like, well, I am. Which is a bit of a no-no. But yeah, went into the battle and he was just really shit. Yeah. But there was like history before that battle as well, though. Right. There was a lot of real talk from like my perspective. Like, everything I'm saying in that battle, like, I meant everything I said. Because he tried doing that whole, battle baiting. Trying to take the piss out of somebody and just wind them up to just say, all right, fuck it, battle me.
Yeah.
And he just kept telling me, oh, you're shit, you'll never beat me. I said, battle me then. He's like, yeah, fuck it, let's have it. But then there was like some shit that went down behind the scenes where there was somebody else, another lad, and he got caught downloading pictures of people's kids from Clash Money and making memes out of them, like sexual memes. And it was wrong, and it was, see why I was sticking up for him, see why I was making jokes about kids getting raped and all sorts on the thing. So I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna have him in this battle, man. I'm going to expose a lot of it.
No, this is one of your best exposure performances, definitely. Again, later on in the battle. But what I want to talk about at the start, really, good to see Bard, I should say as well, presenting this.
Yeah, it was King of the Ronalds versus Clash Money.
Right.
The event, so he'd come down to, I think he battled Dirty Wolves on the same card. And it was also, like, we found out at that event, it was like literally I came out of the pit, came out of the battle, and then we found out that Cadillac Ron passed away.
Right.
Like literally halfway through it, and that event was part of the Cadillac Ron tour. Like, he was meant to be at that event. And it was just, it was really weird, man. After that, it just kind of killed the vibe a little bit.
No, that was terrible incident. But with CY, it's I can't believe that he spends the entire battle reading off his phone, because it's so
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's just, I don't know what he thought he was going to gain by actually. Like, he should have just not turned up.
Yeah.
That would have been the better option, to just not turn up rather than turn up and perform like that. It was just terrible. I mean, he said afterwards, if you go and read the comments on YouTube, he says, the only reason I got beat was because I was off my face and I had to read off my phone. But it's not, because we could still hear what he wrote, and it was terrible. Yeah. It was shockingly bad. So even if he'd have read kind of from memory and performed well, it would have still been shit. But we'll be seeing him again at some point soon, though.
You think so?
I think he might be. Yeah, he's going to be. I think by the time this is released, like, will have been announced anyway. But I'm giving him a tryout in Nottingham against somebody.
Oh, okay, on KOTR.
On KOTR, but I've said to him, he's got to prep. If you watch his other battles, he is better than like he was in that battle, and he's a good freestyler as well.
But I mean, like, inevitably, his opponent mentions this battle.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to get brought up. I'm probably going to get inboxes from his opponent, but I'm going to let them do their own research, man. I'm going to let them go and figure out what happened. I'm not fucking giving no shit away, man. I'm not being a Max, like Snaky Max.
Right, well, what do you mean, Snaky Max?
The Lil Maisie battle, like when I battled Lil Maisie, Max sent me an inbox when he found out I was battling Maisie, saying, Lil Maisie got his missus pregnant when she was 15 years old. And it was bollocks. Like, it was it was a rumour that had started somewhere. But at this point, Max was supposed to be doing a 2-on-2 with Maisie. Right. And I just thought, how's he going to be 2-on-2ing with this guy, claiming to be his mate, and then inboxing his opponents? So I exposed that in the last battle. It was a live stream to the forum. By Brother Exhale, but he's since, I think that account's gone, so the battle's gone from Facebook. Right. It will be uploaded at some point, though. But yeah, it was a bit deep, man.
Oh shit. So yeah, I see why every round is reading off his phone, and it's fucking, it's awful. It's very bad. I mean, he does have a certain unique presence there, but regardless, it's not very good. And most annoyingly, Ted, not only does he read off his phone, and he's terrible, but he has the cheek to speak during your rounds.
Through every single round that I did, he was chatting through every single one of them, and I was getting increasingly more and more angry. Yeah. But I knew I had my third round in the bag. So I was trying not to lose the plot and like slap him there and then.
Right. No, great composure. And, so for instance, in the first, you say, he's smoking the piff, and he says, I don't smoke, but whatever. It's like, shut up.
Yeah, man. And the worst thing about that is it was bullshit. It's just, he's part of a group called Swamp Dons, and they've just done a song where they're talking about getting high every day or something, man. And I just think, you little liar. You tried to fucking flip me and say you don't smoke, and you're doing songs about fucking getting high every day.
And, Blunt, Ted, we have to get to... Well, first, actually, before we just took on this round, where'd you get your name from, Blunt Ted?
I was called Blunted. Like, I've been called Blunted since I was about fucking 13, 14 years old. That was a nickname that was kind of given to me because I was kind of like the first one out of us that smoked weed kind of on a regular. Mm-hmm. And back then, you know, people get cheesy nicknames. I ended up blunted. Then I started making like a bit of dubstep, bit of drum and bass. I put it on YouTube, and what I realised was there was millions of blunteds out there already.
Right.
So I thought, I don't want to really lose the name, but I can't really keep it the same. So I thought, you know what I'll do? I'll split it down the middle. Instead of Blunted Ted, and just put an extra T in there. When I did it, I just looked at the name and I thought, you know what? It's quite catchy. Like, it's quite recognisable. People will always remember, like Blitz. You know, there's millions of Blitzers out there, or fucking Lil this and Lil that. But yeah, there's no other Blunteds.
No, that's true. Yeah, it's a great name. It definitely very fitting as well. And we get to the third then, you know, you basically say you're going to establish some facts, incident where someone got caught, you know, downloading the images of kids. I mean, Bard is basically just saying, let him rap sort of thing. Like,
yeah, he was like so bored through the battle.
Yeah.
But he was like, you could see his face all the way through. He's like, I'm just going to finish.
Yeah, he
and then it gets to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, no, this can't be real. Oh shit, this is real, isn't it? And you can see his face change completely. It was brilliant just to watch the footage back. And if you notice in that battle, nobody really notices. Stood just behind the right shoulder of Bard is Ricky C.
Ah.
Even fucking Ricky C was there for it.
Wow.
like he'd come to beat up Hulk. Like he thought Hulk was going to be there, so he came to like beat up Hulk, or came to get beat up by Hulk.
Yeah.
And he ended up staying, like paying to watch the battles and staying. But I didn't even know he was at the event till I watched the footage, and I was like, hold on, that's fucking Ricky C. What the fuck is Ricky C doing there? But strangely, he's like a fan of CY. Like he was behind CY getting gassed off of all of his bars. Right. Which it's not surprising, really. Ricky C is a bit of a fucking waste cadet, innit?
Right.
No, he's a bit shit. He was walking around with his fucking banjo on his back, like turning up to Don't Flop battles with a fucking one-man band on his back, fucking bells on his shoes and all kinds of shit, man. He's a fucking right weirdo, man. So yeah, it makes sense that he'd be like a fan of CY.
You go basically, he kind of refutes it, doesn't he, CY? Which kind of makes it even worse. He kind of said, no, that's not right.
Yeah, he goes, tell the truth, Ted. And then, but you can see him shaking his head like, don't do it. Don't say it. But by this point, it was too late, man. It was getting said, no two ways about it. It was fucking coming out one way or another. You know, maybe if he'd like not pissed me off like through the battle so much, I'd have probably not like gone in so hard. But because he was pissing me off, you know, I was just wanting to get in his face and just make the crowd know that it was real and it was fucking true what I was saying.
Jesus Christ.
And it just kind of ruined him, man. Like, was it somebody saw him in the toilets afterwards, fucking, I think he was moaning to youth, like saying, oh, I don't know what's going on, man. Like, none of it's true. But he'd already kind of co-signed it during the battle, like on camera. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he was chatting shit a little bit, man.
And, yeah, just incredible. We can't really do this battle justice by talking about it. I'll urge everyone to go check out the final round of Blunted versus CY, SEEWHY on Clash Money, because it is a crazy round. King of Ronalds judging closed us out, and you take it hugely, like, you know,
yeah, kind of. It went mad. Like the room erupted because I knew I'd won the battle, but I didn't think it would be by so much. It was kind of one of the biggest reactions I've seen from a crowd reaction. You know, there was no way near like it being split down the middle. It was just so much. And at that moment when when everyone shouted, I just thought, yeah, fuck you, you twat. All these months you spent on Facebook telling me how shit I am, how I could never beat him. And then he got embarrassed and retired from battle rap for, a good year after.
Yeah.
You know, he's only just kind of coming back. Mm-hmm. And the ironic thing about it is, like, his first battle back, it's me that's booked him.
Yeah.
You know, so, like, now he's feeling probably even more like a dickhead. You know, it's like, oh, fuck, man, the guy ruined me. And then he's, like, giving me another chance. Like, I'm like his personal Jesus. Like, that's how he sees me now. Like, this guy, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. That's how I am to him. So I might just wait until he gets trolled to fuck in his next battle, and then just see what happens. Not give him another battle.
Well, yeah,
with a perfect troll.
A fitting end, and we push on to the next battle, Ted.
Because you change characters in your battles, like writing out a text, and you get vexed, and you change lowercase to caps. Because you went on bad against problematic, saying pick on someone your own size when he's younger than you, so you sap. So why the fuck don't you pick on someone your own size, but you won't, because you're a pussy old sissy, a bully old twat.
Again, the editing. The fucking editing in the JJC4 battle by Pigman Dan,
he's a legend, man.
It's just, I mentioned Pigman Dan before. I really want to get him on the show, actually. This is the guy who, if anyone, the thing is, I understand why there might be some aversion to King of the Ronalds for whatever reason, it's misplaced for whatever. The one thing you can't hate on is the genius editing in these videos by Pigman Dan. Like, he basically, for those not in the know, he'll take a theme, in this case, Metal Gear Solid. I'm a huge personal fan of Metal Gear Solid, and the guy clearly is as well.
Same.
It's a beautiful, beautiful homage. We open on the classic Metal Gear Solid 1 intro, obviously the Ronalds, and it's through Run Army rather than Konami. Like, it's just so witty, so well done. And like the idea of like the locations in Metal Gear Solid 3, if anyone remembers, you go to a new area and you get kind of like jungle hedge, and then underneath Japanese lettering, and we open with the same font, Good Ship Pub, and then there's sort of the calligraphy beneath. It's just it's mind blowing, and that is not to say anything about the battle as well, but obviously we'll trace the Metal Gear stuff through it. But Mickey starting out,
that's my favourite edit, to be honest.
It's amazing.
The Pigman Dan's done. It was because I'm a massive fan of the game as well.
Yeah.
From the first one that came out on PS1.
Yeah.
So, and I think Pigman's probably of like a similar age, maybe a bit older. So yeah, he remembers those games as well. It's legendary.
And, we'll get into probably the best Metal Gear thing, later on as the battle closes. The ideas are so good. But Mickey, kicking off here, saying fuck anyone who says shit on the internet.
Yeah.
Yes, he basically says that if anyone thinks you're crap, he'll basically go to their house and fuck them up. It's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, it's almost like he meant it when he said it as well.
Yeah.
I've always got on with Mickey quite well, man. Like from first time of meeting him, and he's pushed me quite a lot. Like, people don't see Mickey behind the scenes; they only see him what they see on videos. But yeah, he's a fucking sad guy, man. So yeah, I feel like he probably would have gone and stabbed somebody at that point.
JJC4, just before we get into his first round, who was this guy in the sort of KOTR environment at this time?
Well, he had his debut against Problematic, I think it was, and he was kind of like, he won the battle. Personally, I think everyone in the room thinks that JJC4 won that battle, but they gave it to Problematic anyway,
right?
Just because he turned up wearing some kind of, I don't know what it was, some kind of Tudor outfit. Like, he'd just been to a wedding in fancy dress, and he turned up to battle wearing the same clothes. And everyone, he looked like Toadfish from Neighbours as well, which didn't really help him. So yeah, everyone gave it against him. I think it happened to him again. Like, he won his second battle, but everyone gave it against him. So that's kind of him. He was like the loser of KOTR at that point. Like, people were laughing at me a little bit, but he was a sick battler though. Like, he was decent, man. I think he had a good performance. Like, he bodied the fuck out of me in reality in that battle. His performance was on point. His bars was a little bit disgusting and over the top, but that's kind of connected to something else that we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
I think he brings it up during that battle. He says something about metaphor, and then he kind of went in on my mum a little bit. But that wasn't really what pissed me off during the battle. Because when he said it, I thought, yeah, I've got to accept what he says, because I did do it to metaphor a few weeks ago. But he pushed me a couple of times. Yeah. That's what I didn't like. Like, he laid his hands on me, and I kept telling him, and then he did it for a third time, and I wasn't having it after that third time. That was it. The battle was over by this point. I thought, I'm not spitting another bar. I'm just going to fight the guy. That'll be far more entertaining for me.
We'll get to that. He says you'd almost pulled out the battle in the first.
I can't remember why, but there was some reason why I wasn't going to come. I don't think I could make it or something, or some drama with transport or something. I think it was something with transport, because I turned up like 10 minutes before that battle, like really late. So yeah, I think it was just kind of, I don't think there was any, I wasn't like ducking him or anything like that. It was like a genuine reason. But I still made it there. But it was just him chatting shit, basically, trying to find an angle on me. And I think his first round, he spat about 4 bars in.
Yeah, it's a real quick round. I mean, there's still some good stuff. Bang Ted's jaws like a 10-4. Put it on YouTube and see if Ted talks. Yeah,
man. He had some. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think he's decent. Like JJC4, I think he had a lot of potential in the battle scene. I think he did have potential. He just needed to kind of tame himself a little bit and know his place. Because he tried to be the hard guy. Like, he wanted to get in people's faces, make a few threats, and act like the hard guy. And he wasn't really about that life. Like, that wasn't JJC4.
Right.
He was a bit of a kind of, I don't want to use the word geek, but like, he was a bit geeky, a bit nerdy type of thing.
Sure.
A bit like Toadfish from Neighbours.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, in your first, you talk about all the pain in his eyes. He looks like Toad from Neighbours and Eddie Izzard at the same time.
Yep. He did, though. Like, this is the weird thing. Like, when you look at the guy, I just used to see, I could just picture Toadfish Rebecca in a dress, like, and that was like JJC4. That's the image I've got of him. So yeah, he was a bit of a weird one, man. He was a bit of a weird character. And he was sick though. Like, it was decent, but
yeah. I mean, he
went in the wrong direction.
Yeah, well, he goes pretty hard in the second. He basically asks for you to stop posting videos of your kids. It's disgraceful to him. Calls them disabled. Like, it's pretty far.
I know, I've not even got any disabled kids. Like,
no,
I don't know why he said that. That was a bizarre one. Like, they've all got 4 legs and 4 arms, and they're all quite normal.
To you, he says this guy bullied a kid about his dead parents for 102 views. Which is, shouted lazy ass Jack in the crowd, giving a quick laugh to that one. But disrespect is something you got to learn about. He leaves it for the 3rd round, and at this point, in your second, you guys do have a kind of face to face there, kind of a bump. And the wonderful, anyone that's played Metal Gear Solid 1 especially, where you get caught and it's like dun 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 dun, like that music comes on and the alert comes on and the drums, and it's just masterful, and it adds so much to the moment.
Yeah, it was perfect timing, like, to drop that in there.
Yeah.
Because I come in like angry, but then I think I back off again, so the meter goes back down again, and then like a couple of seconds later, it like gives a little the little blip, like a little warning. It was a mate, like, genius. Pigman Dan's a genius for that edit, man.
He is entirely. Yeah, no, it's so fucking good. But that fight, getting physical in battle rap, is that something you're comfortable with, or?
Not really. Like, it's not something that I like to see in battle rap. I think 2 people should turn up, battle, and then leave. But at the same time, I don't like it when someone puts their hands on me like that. It's just like this natural urge inside of me to like slap them. But I was trying to remain composed, and I had fucking Danny Wack was next to me. He was going on about fucking, you need to calm down, Ted. You need to calm down. I was thinking, I need to fight. I need to slap him. Like, I need to take him outside and slap him. And I think somebody else, can't remember who it was, someone was saying, just think about the venue. We'll lose the venue. We'll lose the venue. So I had to calm it down, man. But don't agree with fighting in battles. I've had a few occasions. There was one at Clash Money where I said something about some guy in a crowd who had been calling me out in every single one of his battles. So I kind of replied to him, and he didn't like it. So he stood up and got in my face. I told him to sit the fuck down, and he sat down, and that was kind of the end of it. But I'd rather see 2 people turn up and battle. Makes more for a better battle when 2 people have got iller feelings towards each other. A nice grudge match.
Yeah, completely. But I mean, it doesn't need to get out of hand to that extent, I suppose.
No, but during the JJC4 battle, it felt right at that moment. He'd pissed me off that much that I couldn't be asked to battle anymore. I thought, you know what, this battle was done for today. And I don't even know how it happened. Like, literally, it got to that point, and I was just going to say, nah, fuck it, I'm done. But then I was like, no, man, let's go out and fight instead. But then Mickey was like, yeah, let's film it.
Yeah.
And it just kind of egged it on a little bit, and it got out of control. But I think JJC4, I think he shit himself, like, after that battle. Like, him and his mates ran off up the street, like, never to be seen ever again in battle rap. Blocked everybody. Sent Mickey an email saying, you know, if you upload that battle, like, I'll sue you. Which is hilarious, like, to think that he could ever get sued. He tried to say he didn't know what he was doing. He wasn't aware that it was going to end up on YouTube. Yeah, he'd had like 3 battles before this that were on YouTube or something, or 2 that were on YouTube. So he knew damn well. He said he didn't realise that his bars were that bad, but he was just trying to get himself out of it because he knew he looked like a dickhead and he was going to look like a right twat when it got uploaded. So yeah, he flopped it off and tried to sue King of the Ronalds, or tried to threaten, and then got laughed at by Mickey again. And then that was the end of it. That was the end of it.
Wow. Can't believe that was
the end of JJC4 as well.
Wow, shit. Okay, yeah, you've ended a few, or at least retired a few people for a while.
Yeah, there was CY. He's coming back, but that's just because I'm giving him another battle. Yeah. JJC4, Metaphor, Lil Maisie said he was quitting. He was never coming back. Right. And then when he came back, he says, oh, you know what, I was just pissed off because I got beat by Blunt Ted. Right. So, yeah, they don't like it when I beat them. Because I've got a reputation of being shit. So when I actually do beat them, they're like, fuck, how did that happen? And then they get really embarrassed about it. I find that amusing. I think that's funny. I knew Maisie would be back. I knew he wouldn't quit forever. I knew he was just having a mardy. And retiring battlers is funny. It's fun.
Yeah,
collecting them.
I suppose it is. I wonder who else. There's probably a few other people in battle rap who have done the same as you, like, kind of sent people down for good. But we push on, and at this point, Ted, you've been with affiliate of King of the Ronalds, for a little while now, and you're just getting more and more into them. You have, Relapse Battle, Lazy Ice Jack Battle, Blitz Battle, Bowski, you're really enveloping yourself in the roster. Yeah,
I'm got 10 battles on the league now. My last battle was Maisie, that was my 10th battle, and then my 11th in December, in a couple of weeks. So it's moving quite nicely. And then, my 11th battle was Mickey Worthless as well. Yeah. That's my next battle. So that's it's quite a big thing for me. As I said, I've always looked up to him. He's always kind of been one of my favourite battlers. He's not technical. I'm quite similar to him in the way that we're both not that great, but I think we kind of get by on personality. So, it's got the potential to be either really shit or amazing. I don't know which way it's going to go. I'm hoping for amazing.
Yeah. It's going to be definitely going to be an interesting one. I think that'll be out by the time this episode drops. So be sure to check out Blunt Ted versus Mickey on the KOTR channel. But Ted, we close off with the most recent upload, the Jeffers battle.
Now, in actual fact, I was paid to come here to give more stick to and end this bitch Blitz's brethren's life. But more factually, I'll say that I ain't caustic, but getting paid to retire you means that you are Jeffers on price.
I mean, the kind of notorious end of this is edited out now?
No, it's on there. It actually got split into 3 different uploads and an interview. So there's 4 uploads on YouTube kind of surrounding this battle. The way they did it, I'm not sure why it was done this way, but the first 2 rounds, my first 2 rounds and Jeff's first 2 rounds, they were both uploaded one day, and then the next day was kind of my 3rd round was uploaded. And there was the intro was a separate upload as well. I think the intro was called Psyching Out Blunt Ted or something. That's on there. I think that's got about 1,000 hits or something. So yeah, it was quite bizarre. They just kind of split it into 3. But it kind of meant that there's probably about 5,000-6,000 views kind of surrounding that Jeffers battle. So it's out there. People are aware of what happened.
And what did happen?
At the time, like, I was kind of going through a lot of like shit in my head. Like, obviously I mentioned earlier, like, my mother's passed away, and it was the anniversary of my mum's like passing, like 4-year anniversary, and my cat went and died the same day. You know, on the anniversary, and it kind of, I know it's just a cat, but I'd had it for like 16 years, and it threw me over the edge a little bit. So I wasn't really in the right frame of mind, but I thought, fuck it, it's a big card, Tony D versus Dialects on the same card. So I'm going to go and do the battle and do it, and then just get out of there, go and chill out for a few months. But it didn't really turn out that way. Kind of went a bit wrong. I was getting trolled a little bit by Mickey and Hulk in the intro, and that pissed me off. So I wasn't really, you could see me throughout the battle, kind of on edge and not really taking it too seriously. And then, it got to the third round. I spat like a really shit bar. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what the setup to it was. I think that might have even been the setup. It was like, you're bleeding dim, and then that was it. Next thing I know, I'm kind of like stood at the back of the room watching my own battle with my arms folded next to Technico, who's looking at me like, you're supposed to be over there, mate. Like, why are you not in your battle? It was the most bizarre moment of my life, man. So surreal to be watching your own battle from the back of the crowd. You know, it was weird, but it happened. Can't really take it back. And you know, if I'm honest, like, it was a good talking point. It didn't really like hurt me. The next day, P Soldier popped up on the forum. He was like, Blunt Ted versus P Soldier. Huh? There was talk of Uno Lavos as well after that.
Shit.
Yeah, so it just kind of it went a little bit mad. You know, so it did me a favour really, but you know, it's still something that shouldn't have happened. Like, I shouldn't have walked out of battle. Like, that was childish, and that was unprofessional. If professional is a thing in battle rap, you know, it wasn't the right move to do. Especially more for Jeffers than anything else. Like, he'd prepared 3 rounds, and 3 good rounds as well, and he didn't get to spit them all. So it was quite disrespectful to him that way. But I didn't take a loss. There was like no crowd judging, so I can't even mark it down as a loss, so it's not all bad.
Yeah, I suppose that is a way to look at it. But yeah, it's a quite odd ending, but definitely check that out on the channel. So I guess, Ted, other than the Mickey one upcoming, you know, is there any other battles that are planned that are maybe going to go down for you in the future? Or
there's one other battle that's planned. I think, like, it's not been like announced or anything, but I don't think it's hidden information. It's been talked about on the forum. It's pretty much been planned on King of the Ronalds Back Your Talk. But Bill Blaze from No Coast,
right?
He's coming over to England with a few of the other No Coast lads next year at some point. I think kind of towards the middle back end. So yeah, me and him is gonna have a battle and get it on. So it's kind of, you know, it's like an international, but it doesn't really feel like that, just because we're so close with the No Coast people. Like, they're like pretty much our closest friends in battle rap. You know, they're good bunch, good league.
Yeah. No, so, shout out to Breakneck.
Yeah, it's something to look forward to. Yeah, Breakneck, like, what he's doing over there is fucking sick.
Yeah. No,
you know, and then obviously Bill Blazer's got a cat mob as well, so he's doing the old video battle thing.
Yeah, man, it's such a cool little union that is, King of the Ronalds and No Coast, that they've kind of, you know, branched out and stuff. It's great to see.
It's helpful to both. Like, I think it helps us and it helps King of the Ronalds, because it's giving, like, to be honest with you, before recently, I hadn't heard of No Coast. I didn't know who there was. I didn't know who Breakneck was or Bill Blaze or anybody. And they were probably the same with a lot of us as well. And now there's like, our fans are watching No Coast battles and their fans are watching King of the Ronalds battles. Yeah, it's a good little thing, man. And the fact that it's genuine, like, we're genuinely friends with each other. It's not forced. Like, I think if Don't Flop and King of the Ronalds were to try and like make a friendship now, it would just be forced.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't feel natural. It wouldn't feel right.
Yeah, you know.
But No Coast, it's organic, man. You know, they're a good bunch.
Yeah, no, completely. And you know, Ted, we'll wrap up as we always do with a few quick fire questions. The first one is, what's your favourite King of the Ronalds battle?
Favourite King of the Ronalds battle? Probably, it's probably not the best in terms of bars, but it's the most entertaining. But Pedro versus EMC, just that shirt rip was just, he got slapped. Like Pedro got a lot of bad press for it. I think it was fucking brilliant. Like, I think it was amazing. Like, he ripped EMC's shirt in the middle of the battle. EMC was like trying to hold his tears in, but still kind of kept it professional. He carried on spitting his bars, where I think at that point, like, if Pedro had ripped my shirt, like, there wouldn't have been a battle afterwards, man. There'd have been like tearing us off of each other, man. But AMC kept it professional, man. So I rate him for that, man. But it's a good fuckery battle, man.
Yeah, no, completely. And do I dare I ask, don't flop?
Don't flop, favourite battle? That's a hard one. Do you know what? It's like I said, like, I don't hate on Don't Flop like that, man. Like, there's a lot of good battles on the channel. Favourite battle on the league? Do you know what? In fact, I'll tell you what it is. DNA versus Villain.
Yeah. Wow.
DNA versus Villain. Like, I'm a fan of Villain as well. Like, it was just amazing. Like, Villain just went in so hard on DNA. And I think a lot of it was like made up angle. I don't think it was real, but like, he used the angle so fucking well that it was believable, and he just destroyed DNA, in my opinion. I think the win was given to DNA, but I think Villain killed him.
Yeah. Interesting choice. King of the Dot.
Favorite battle on King of the Dot. It's probably one that I've watched more often than others. And once again, it's not for the bars; it's more for the lack of. But Disaster versus Cannabis. It's just Cannabis. The moment he pulls out his pad and it's like, "I'm here to entertain. So who wants to hear me spit some bars?" And the crowd's like, "Nah, mate, it's done now. Like, the vibe's gone. Just end it there." And he's like, "No, fuck it. Let me spit some bars anyway." And the crowd just weren't listening. I think he just gave up eventually. But I think Disaster was going to kill him anyway. Like, Disaster was giving like one of his best performances, man.
Yeah, completely. It was it was insane. The whole freestyle of the broken arm as well, shoulder to lean on sort of thing. It was just, he's like Disaster. He's another one of my favourite battlers. He kind of went quiet for a little bit and he was getting a lot of bad press, but he's come back and he's been smashing it recently. And he's a funny guy as well, man. Yeah. It'd be great to get him on King of the Ronalds.
Oh, that'd be amazing. There was talk of it recently. I think Blitz was like talking about he was going to battle him. I just couldn't imagine Blitz versus Disaster. No. It's just a waste of a battle.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
They're going to get Disaster. They need somebody like Mackenzie, possibly even Bod, to be honest. But they need somebody who's going to be loud and grunty and get in his face. And I think Mackenzie would be that person, man. Yeah,
Mackenzie versus Disaster on KOTR. I've not really thought that. That'd be that could potentially be fantastic. Definitely.
It'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I think it would. So, URL, Ted, do you have favorite URL battle?
No, don't really follow URL, to be honest. The battles are just too long, and sure. It was going that way a little bit with King of the Dot for a while as well. Like 45 minute to an hour battles, and I can't keep my concentration for that long. Like, I'm one of those, those people you meet that fall asleep a lot. Mm-hmm. You can be sitting there having a conversation with them and you turn around and they're asleep. I am that person. Right. So if I put a battle on for like 45 minutes, I'm getting 20 minutes in and that's it, I'm fast asleep.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough, man. And final two questions, non-battle rap related. The first being your favourite film? Favourite film? It's going to surprise you, actually. Right. Quadrophenia. Okay, cool, yeah. Quadrophenia, about the mods and the rockers. Yeah. I think it's a brilliant film, man. And Leslie Ash is in it as well. She was all right back in the day, man. Leslie Ash, before she got the fish lips, the trap hat. Right. But good film. I think after that, though, like another surprising one, probably Blues Brothers. Yeah, of course. But in terms of kind of like film that everybody could watch, it'd be The Lost Boys. Mm-hmm. They're kind of like my top three films, but I probably couldn't give you like the order for them. I couldn't decide which one's the top three. It could change any different day, but they're the go-to films when I don't know what else to watch. And
no, Quadrophenia is amazing.
Yeah, no, great show, man. And finally, Ted, your favourite musical artist or band that is in no way hip hop related?
Oasis.
Yeah.
Oasis. I was a massive fan of Oasis growing up. Seen them at Nebworth, Main Road, Earls Court and Wembley, like all the big venues. There's a photo knocking about on my Facebook, kind of towards the back. Me with Liam Gallagher when I was about 15 years old.
Oh, wow. Seriously?
Yeah, my sister was an estate agent in London for a company called Anscombe and Ringland, and they were renting Patsy Kensit and Liam Gallagher one of their flats. So I went round with her one day, and it was just, it was brilliant, man.
Yeah, man, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. I think Shock said the same thing. So you don't just share physical appearance.
No, Shock said the same thing as well, did it?
Shock said that was his favourite choice, for non-hip hop.
Ah, shit, no, I wasn't aware of that one.
Yeah, interesting.
Maybe I should change it now, because he said that. It's Blur, Blur. They're like my favourites. Fucking bit of Supergrass. Pulp.
Shout out in Spiral Carpets, man.
Clint Boom from the Spirals, man. He was kind of like a Manchester legend.
Yeah.
He kind of, the whole Manchester thing, he was kind of like the father of all that. So a lot of good music in Manchester. I think the Manchester scene in general has always been quite live like that, man. They've always had good venues and good bands, and now they've got some all right rappers. They've got Relapse. Relapse is up there, man.
Yeah. They got Briggsy.
Yeah, Briggsy's he's like, I talk to Briggsy quite a bit on Facebook. Like, right. he's quite sound, man. That's the thing that would surprise people. I troll Don't Flop quite a bit. It always block me, but I'm all right with Briggsy, man. And some of the battlers over there. It's not really like any hatred I've got towards Don't Flop. It's just fun to troll them. That's all it is. It's just fun to troll them, but they're a bit pissy over there. They don't like it, so they all block me. I think half of Don't Flop's blocked me over there. Right. Like Danny Jack, like he blocked me just because I said something about his frile. So that's how wet he is, man. Fucking Danny Jack, if you're listening to this, man, fucking come and battle me, you prick. Don't unblock me from Facebook and fucking come and battle me, you tosser. Fucking Danny Jack. Yeah, sorry, man, I had to say that one.
No, you versus Danny Jack and KOTR. I can't really see it happening, but one day.
Well, the thing is, we're quite similar. Like he's running the kind of the branch of Training Days, like a branch off from Don't Flop, and then I'm kind of running events in Nottingham as well. So we're kind of like in each other's position. Yeah. I think it wouldn't make sense for us to battle, but we'd probably have to go and do it on a different league, like fucking Dub Scandal or somebody.
Right, yeah, Dub Scandal, the new upstarts. But Ted, I guess we'll finish with, how do people get at you social media wise, that sort of stuff?
Facebook, really, is the main one. Like Snapchat, I don't really understand it.
Right.
I downloaded it. The only person that I've got on Snapchat was like Lil Maisie's girlfriend. I don't quite know how that happened. But yeah, sorry, Maisie. But yeah, she's like, and I don't understand what the fuck's going off on it, so I deleted it again. So yeah, I don't use them. I've got a Twitter, but it's shit, so I don't really use that either. So yeah, just Facebook really, man. I'm on there. Yeah,
and that's just Lee Blunt Ted, is that right?
Yeah, Lee Blunt Ted Daniel.
Lee Blunt Ted Daniel, yeah. Well,
languishing in the forum somewhere.
Yeah, shout out back your talk. But Ted, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been great chatting to you, bro.
Yeah, it's been good, man.